Imagine five philosophers sitting at a round table. There are five forks, one between each pair. Now they all get hungry at exactly the same moment. Each one reaches for the fork on their left. Now they reach for the fork on their right. It's gone. The neighbor took it, and that neighbor is waiting for their right fork too. The next philosopher took that, who is also waiting all the way around the table. Nobody can eat, not without someone up giving up a fork. And if there is no mechanism for that, this creates a deadlock situation. And this is exactly what we are going to discuss today, the dining philosopher's problem, why it deadlocks, and three different ways to prevent it. In the previous video from this playlist, we saw that when threads share data, things can go wrong. Mutex and Semaphore are the tools we use to fix that. Today, we will look at one classic problem, that is dining philosopher's problem. What happens when threads need to acquire multiple resources simultaneously, and how does that lead to deadlock? Let's understand the problem statement first. Five philosophers sit at a round table. Between each adjacent pair of philosophers is exactly one fork, so five forks in total. A philosopher has three states: thinking, that is not using any forks; hungry, wants to eat, waiting for both adjacent forks to become available; eating, holds both the left and right fork, eats, and then puts both down. The constraint is that a philosopher needs both forks simultaneously to eat. A fork is shared between two philosophers, the one on its left and the one on its right. This sounds simple, right? But watch what happens under concurrency. The dining philosopher's problem is not about philosopher or forks. The forks are resources, the philosophers are threads, and the table is your system. Any system where threads must hold multiple resources simultaneously faces this exact problem. For example, database transactions. A transaction needs to lock row A and row B before it can commit. If transaction 1 holds row A and waits for row B, while transaction 2 holds row B and waits for row a deadlock is created. The pattern is always the same: threads holding one resource, waiting for another in circular dependency. That's what this problem models. Let's go through the obvious approach to solve this problem. Each philosopher picks up their left fork first and then their right fork. Think, pick up left fork, pick up right fork, wait if unavailable, eat, put down right fork, put down left fork, repeat. This works fine when all philosophers don't get hungry at the same time. But watch what happens when all five get hungry simultaneously. Each philosopher picks up their left fork, each now waits for their right fork. Their right fork is being held by the neighbor, who is also waiting for their right fork. A perfect cycle of dependencies is formed. Nobody can proceed and nobody eats. This is deadlock, specifically caused by circular wait. Every philosopher holds one resource and waits for another in a cycle that can never be broken without external intervention. The system is frozen. Let's look at the first solution, that is limit concurrency. Allow at most 4 philosophers to attempt eating simultaneously. Adding a counting semaphore called room, which is initialized to 4, can help here. A philosopher must wait on room before picking up any fork, so that way only 4 philosophers can proceed at once. The fifth waits outside without holding any fork. Why does this work? With 5 forks and 4 philosophers at the table, By the pigeonhole principle, at least one philosopher always has both adjacent forks available. Circular wait requires all n participants to be waiting. With only 4 allowed in, at least one can always eat. The chain can never be complete. Deadlock is mathematically impossible. The second solution, asymmetric ordering. Change the rule for one philosopher. Odd numbered philosopher pick up left fork first, then right. Even numbered pick up right fork first, then left. In the naive solution, the circular weight forms because everyone reaches in the same direction, like a ring of people, each grabbing the hand of the person on their left. Reversing just one person's direction breaks the ring. Circle only needs one break to collapse. The third solution, resource hierarchy. Assign a number to every fork and always acquire the lower numbered fork first. This is the generalized version of asymmetric ordering. Asymmetric ordering works for this specific circular setup with 5 philosophers. Resource hierarchy works for any number of threads and any number of resources. All three solutions break circular weight, but through different mechanisms. Limit concurrency uses a counting semaphore. It breaks the circular weight by ensuring there are fewer participants than resources. This is simple to implement and generalizes to n resources. Asymmetric ordering uses a conditional fork order. It breaks the circular weight by making one participant go in the opposite direction. Simple, just a conditional statement on the thread ID. But it is specific to this setup. It does not generalize very cleanly beyond the circular philosopher arrangement. Resource hierarchy uses a global numbering rule. It breaks the circular weight by imposing a consistent acquisition order, requires a numbering scheme but generalizes to any number of threads and resources. The key insight is this: circular weight requires a chain. Break the chain anywhere, fewer participants, reversed direction, or consistent order, and deadlock is impossible. You don't need all three solutions. Any one of them is sufficient. That's it for today's video. I hope you now understand all about the Dining Philosophers problem. If yes, then please do like this video and comment down if you have any questions or if you want me to cover any other topic. Subscribe for more such content. See you in the next one.